everybody, Kim here on the homestead. So we're busy at work again. It's a beautiful day today. It's actually clear. You can see all the way down into the valley. But it's a dry heat wind today.
But we do have 25% humidity today, so
right,
it is.
You can't feel it though. It's just, man, when the wind blows, it just sucks it out of you. Sucks it out of your lips, your skin. My legs are like crazy dry. It's ridiculous. But work's got to get done. So Katrina's going to zoom back a little bit. I'll follow her. We added 3 beds today. We've been cutting the logs for them over the past couple days, again, down in the valley. And Katrina just takes, come on over here for a second. We take a bore and we bore in about halfway. And then we had some 5-inch screws left over from some other project. So then that's drilled into here, and these are all sturdy and together. So again, we used recycled screws from some other project. But we're gonna add, I'm gonna take the little tiller, I'm gonna till up the soil. We're gonna add some of our worm casings from cousins Plachette, Kelly, and Kina. Thank you very much from the estate. We appreciate that. So add that to the soil. We'll get some stuff out of the compost bin, add that in as well. And then we're going to take a ride out the road, and we found a nice spot where there's some decent topsoil. And we'll hit one of the Forest Service burns and grab some more of the char from the Forest Service burns, and we'll build these up. The reason we added the 3 is, you see right now, our tomatoes are in the buckets.
They're not happy.
They're doing okay, but they're struggling. We just did not have time to build these things until now. So once they get in the ground, hopefully they'll be happy. So the tomatoes will go in both of these here, and then that bed there, we're gonna move our strawberries out of the greenhouse. So we had a little situation in the greenhouse. Our strawberries have been eaten off to like nubs.
But no, the thing is though, the leaves got bit off and then left, which is to me more irritating that he didn't even eat them.
But he took some of the buds and a couple berries that were starting to come in. So anyway, the culprit was a pack rat, and we caught him in there. And so I pinned him in a corner, and Katrina shot him with a BB gun, and so he's gone now. We thought our bigger concern was going to be problems with the deer and stuff like that, but we found that now that it's summertime and the cows are here, so the cows were let in around June 15th. Around June 16th, all of the deer and the elk disappeared because they're competing with the cows for all of the grass. You see this out front here? This stuff out front used to be this high. So the cows just came in here and decimated it. It's just a dry, barren land right now. Now, if Katrina pans over to the top up on the hill, you see up on the top, it's kind of green still up there. And this is one of the lower hills. This is Orofino Mountain, and that's at like 7,000 feet, I think. Going out to the left is the Continental Divide, and the mountains get higher out there. They're up to about 9, and that's where all the elk are now for the summer because it's cooler up there. And they don't have to compete with all the cows, you know, for eating everything. So anyway, so the larger predators like that disappeared. We're not having any issues with them. Over by the greenhouse and the chicken pen, you see our potatoes are coming up. The onions are doing well. The cucumbers are good. The squash is good. Inside the greenhouse is where we seem to have an issue. So we're closing it up at nighttime now. It's
Well, we have to open it during the day.
We have to because it gets
hot
too
as blazes.
But at nighttime we're closing it because the little sucker ate off our zucchinis too. We have like 1 zucchini coming in right now. So anyway, he's gone. We thought it was ground squirrels at first, but it was a pack rat. So
we caught him too.
We shot his ass, and we took him and put him somewhere in the woods with a squirrel, I think. Also.
Yeah, I got a squirrel up there.
So anyway, not having problems with the big animals. Just the freaking little ones. We got chipmunks too, so we've caught a couple of them. Feel bad about that, but I think they're being destructive as well. But yeah, so this is what we're up to today. Everything here is coming in good. Asparagus is coming in well. In between, in the bottom of the asparagus right now, I have some spaghetti squash planted too. So because this is the first year for the asparagus, so it's not, you know, we couldn't really eat it. It just has to go to seed. We'll cut it down in the winter, and then it'll come in the spring. But I thought I'd utilize the space in there and put a couple squash in there. And then the other bed right now, that is our raspberries. So they're doing well.
They have little buds on them.
They have little buds. I don't know if we'll get many berries this year, but they're coming in well. And then our 2 pear trees. So we already have the base parts sitting outside the fence over there for the 2 fig trees that we have. They'll be the next thing to go in. But we're just taking our time. You know, we don't overexert every day. We do what we can and try to stop, you know, by 4 o'clock and call it a wrap. We are retired after all. So get to live the life. All right. Pan around and just show Pinto Bean on the porch, hanging out on the porch. Hey, Pinto Bean. Hey, Pinto Bean. All right. I guess that's it. We'll get going on here. Hopefully get the dirt in today. I don't think we'll get the planting done today. If we do, it'll be in the evening so that we're not stressing the tomatoes by planting them in the heat. You know, we'll plant them at nighttime, right before it gets dark, and then water them good, and hopefully they'll be all right. So wish us luck. All right. Always something on the homestead.
Good luck.
Cheers, everybody. Take care. Bye. All right. So we got the beds tilled up, and now we put a layer of the worm fertilizer in, and then we put a layer of compost in, and then we're going to go get the dirt, the topsoil from out in the country, and the extra char from all the fire burns out from the Forest Service. So in here, you can actually see we got our rabbit poop right there. That'll break down. We got eggshells in here. They'll break down. We got shavings from the chickens, and there's chicken stuff in here too, chicken crap. Here's a feather from one of the chickens.
I saw some charcoal.
Here's some charcoal from all winter that we have been putting in there. There's a pistachio shell right there, pistachio nut shell. So random pieces of wood. Oh, there was an piece of orange that probably just was from this morning when I put stuff in. And then of course there's cow poop in here too. I don't know if you can hear me because my face is down. But that's some cow poop right there. But this is some nice stuff, you know, and we need this because this soil, I mean, you see our yard. I planted grass 3 times this year, and it's just not taken because we're not watering it. All we're watering is what we're eating. That's all we can do. And we have not had to use our well water at all yet. We've been using just rainwater that's been harvested. We're not even through the big green tank yet. We still have, I don't know how many gallons that would be, 50 gallons in there?
About 50.
About 50 gallons in there. And then we have our 2 big tanks behind the greenhouse.
They're each 275.
So they still have water in them. Because thank goodness we're not having to run our well all the time to water stuff. And then putting this mulch down on top has really helped retain the water and everything. So once we get the tomatoes in, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to make just a little well right around the base of the plant. And then the mulch will go in between all the plants. It'll hold the moisture in.
Yeah, if you pull back that mulch, it's actually nice and moist, which is nice.
It is. It's doing great. So utilizing everything we got and making it happen. So compost 101. So tomorrow after we get the other stuff, I'll run the tiller through it again and we'll churn it all up. And but there's a lot of nice soil in the
pots, buckets
as well. So that's stuff that I pre-mixed before. So that's peat moss and regular potting soil, worm fertilizer, good stuff. So all that'll end up going in the bed too. So we won't get too much to build this up much further. I tilled down, you know, a good 6 inches. And then this stuff on top now, it's about that. And we still have 4 or 5 inches to go. So there's your update. All right, catch you on the flip side. Cheers from the homestead. Morning, everybody. Kim here on the homestead. So last night we got the tomatoes in. We didn't get them caged up and mulched, so we did that this morning. And watered them again. And they were watered hard last night because of the shock of moving them, and they seem okay. And then we just watered them again now with the mulch on and everything. The other bed over there is going to be for our strawberries. And then we have another bag of mulch for that. And then eventually, you know, next year, before the season starts, we'll build a couple more beds for string beans and probably soybeans and all kinds of other stuff. But this is what we got for this year. So interesting thing, yesterday we ran into, not really a neighbor, it was just somebody on a quad that has a camp out along the Continental Divide. And we were talking with her, and you know, I told her we're growing all our own food and we have greenhouse and stuff. And she's like, well, you just growing winter crops? And we're like, no. And she was pretty shocked because of how dry it is here. And that's why we harvested rainwater. So we still have a decent amount of rainwater left, hopefully to get us into the fall. But if we did not have that, we probably would not be able to grow food like this, because we'd be tapping into our well too much, drawing too much on the well pump, using too much of the solar, and the fear of the well lasting. Like, how deep actually is it? How many other, sources pull from our depth? So it's hard work. Don't get me wrong. This is considered high desert, so it's dry, arid, windy, and the wind tears up the leaves. By the end of the day, they'll all be curled up a little bit, and we'll have to water them again. So they're getting watered twice a day right now. But this is what's going to provide us our spaghetti sauce, our salsa, canned tomatoes,
Pasta, pizza sauce,
everything. We can and jar everything. So the effort that we're putting in is going to be our reward all winter, and that we'll be able to do it. We have the peppers, just one little pepper on the end, but
because it's just for me.
I don't really eat peppers, but Petrina does dice them up and freeze them too. And sometimes, like, I'll eat and can eat peppers if they're really cooked. My issue is raw peppers. I just get gassy. I just burp all day. But if they're cooked, they're fine for me. Same with onions, really. So, but anyway, this is where we are, and it was just interesting running into somebody, and her being absolutely shocked that we're growing food here. And we're growing a decent amount for our first year. We've learned a lot, obviously, with the critters that are eating what particular items, moving stuff inside the fence to make sure that the deer and stuff won't get to them even when fall comes. And I think having Pinto around is helping too with the critters as well. So that's it. So there you go. So we already picked a couple tomatoes, little ones.
There's another one on one of the plants over there. I didn't get it yet today.
Yeah, come on over. We'll pick it.
It's one of the little cherry tomato things.
It's a little baby. I can't even get in there. It's so tight. Oh, looky. Katrina and I'll split that. Yum-a-dum-dum. And you can see some of them are getting pretty big, actually. One down here. Oh, there's a couple getting ready to turn red on there. A couple big ones on this guy. Here.
Yep.
So we're doing okay. So no need to worry about us out here on the plains. All right. Love y'all. Take care. Talk to you next time. Cheers from the homestead.